Good morning. Welcome to the demo of two companion tools that I've developed for those interested in the Lenovo product family. My name is Budge Burgess. Thank you for watching. The first app I'm going to show you is Lenovo Look Pro. Lenovo Look Pro is a search engine. It's the latest version of Lenovo Look, which is available for selected BlackBerry smartphones, and of course any BlackBerry that has Android as its operating system. We don't have an iPhone or iPad version, but there's a crowdfunding campaign started if you'd like to continue. I'd like you to contribute to that, rather, after you've seen how Lenovo Look Pro works. It's available from the Google Play Store website. It's free. I spent quite a bit of my own money developing it, that's for sure, but I've decided to make it available for free. If you install it, you get this yellow icon on your desktop, and unlike the initial version, which just gave you the search engine and required you to download a database to be used manually, this one downloads and installs 11 databases so that you can start using it right away. So let's try US ThinkPads. That's a database. Oh, let me back up one just a bit here. The date behind the name tells you when the last time the database was updated. So you see there's a number of them that were updated in the middle of December 2016, and some others that go back a long time ago. I extracted those databases from original copies I had a long time ago, but they may be useful if you want to look up information from things long gone. US ThinkPads. Okay, down at the bottom we have a search window where you can look up a string A plus string B plus ... The idea is you can enter a part number, a partial part number, or a text string, or a combination of them, as long as you separate each string with the plus sign. Let's try something simple at first. Suppose we know there's a machine type 20AS. Let's see if we can find that in US ThinkPads. In less than a second, it comes back with a long list of ThinkPad L440 models, current as of mid-December 2016, as I say. The reason I stopped maintaining the data at that point was I'd been doing it for free for 7 years and decided that was enough. I'm not doing it for free anymore, but you're welcome to make use of what I've got so far. So let's say, okay, instead of 20AS, let's use L440 and see if we get any more hits. But this time we have to hit the description box because L440 is part of the description, not the part number. Find, click again. Excuse me. In less than a second, a much longer list, because of course now we have 20AT as well as 20AS models. So let's try that magic plus sign I mentioned. Supposing we say we want a solid state drive. Find. Smaller list, but still quite a big list. So let's add finger for fingerprint recognition. That's a neat technology. Find. Again, less than a second. Smaller list, but still a big list. So let's add another filter. Quad core. Yes, to spell out quad space core. If you just use quad, you may pick up a machine that has an NVIDIA Quadro graphics. Pardon me. Find. Now it's a more manageable list. 6 hits. At this point, you can hit copy to clipboard, and a one-line description and the part number will be put in the clipboard for you to paste into an email to a customer. Say, hey, you were looking for an L440 with a solid-state drive, fingerprint recognition, and a quad core. Here are 6 models that meet your requirements. If we tick on one of these, at the bottom, you will see possibly as many as 3 fields: US list price, kernel res residential or commercial list price, and kernel supply. Kernel Software is a Lenovo business partner in the U.S., and they very kindly granted me permission to display their price and their supply values in this tool. Now that we've found that particular model, let's click on the Show button. Now we have a long, extended description, about 3 pages worth of it. If you're familiar with the PSREF document, you probably say, gee, this looks a lot like the PSREF. Well, that's where I get all this information from. I just restructure it slightly and do some interpretive stuff. But you could filter on any of these things. The top seller, whether it's 16 by 900 resolution, does it have an optical drive, what kind? One of the things I do down at the bottom here is I try to list the ports. 4 USB, one of which is always on, RJ45 mini DisplayPort VGA. The reason I'm focused on that is I can imagine somebody saying, well, I want a ThinkPad, but it has to have an HDMI port. Well, what tool would you use to find that? This might be the fastest tool around, and it's portable, sitting there right in the palm of your hand. And again, you can copy to clipboard to have this entire extended description and the part number and the price and all that copied, and you can give it right to the customer. So that's sorry, let me do this again. That's US ThinkPads. If I go to French ThinkPads, click on any one, the description and the part number are for France. There's no price again because for whatever reason Lenovo doesn't make list price files available to the public. If I go to Deutschland, German ThinkPads, find. Again, the description is in German. Now, it's entirely possible that my somewhat educated guesses at French and German translation, I've missed something. So, by all means, if, like L2 cache, if Pufferspeicher is not used anymore, they just say L2 cache like everybody else does in England and France, by all means tell me, send me a note and I'll correct it. So if I close and go back, so that's a short trip through the system unit databases. Now down at the bottom of the list are 3 databases, some of which have more than system units in it. They sometimes have options in them as well. And they go back, obviously back as far as 2002, so you can look up older information if that's convenient. Now let's go to the second tool of the suite of 3 companion tools, the Fruita Marketing Cross-Reference. One of the things that I discovered when I was product manager for PC options for IBM Canada about 15 years ago was that we had a kind of a gap. When a customer did a field upgrade to a machine, took out a pair of 2 gig modules and replaced them with 2 4s or 2 8s, the question would naturally arise, so what do I do with these 2 gig modules we took out? We didn't have a crisp answer. I decided that we needed a crisp answer, and the crisp answer would have to be a Fruita Marketing Cross-Reference database where you could type in the Fru and it would tell you the marketing option equivalent. And once you had that, you could enter that in another application, the PC Sales Guide Configurator, and it would tell you what system units supported that option. The problem was it would show you that, but there was no easy way to get it exported so that you could actually work with it. The current Fruita Marketing Cross-Reference fixes a lot of that. So let's go to the Fruita Marketing Cross-Reference and let's type 03X 6656. See if we can find a hit for that. Oh, there we go, one right away. 0B47380 is the marketing option equivalent, a 4 gig memory module. We click on to market, and then we click on show, and you say, oh, look at this. This is very useful now. Not only do we get the name of it, the price of it, the supply of it, the FRU number, and a long list of the system units that support this memory module. Now, again, you can copy this to clipboard and give it to the customer and say, if you have any of these machine types, possibly some of the members of each of these families may have an open memory socket. Supposing the customer says, well, these E455s in the middle here, I think I've got some of those, but how am I supposed to find out whether they have an open memory socket? Ah, well, we thought about that too. 20DE E455. So let's change to US ThinkPads. 20DE plus open dash yes. I went through the database a couple of years ago, and every instance where I described memory sockets, I changed the way they were described so that it will say, for as far as memory sockets go, open, yes or no. If it's yes, it'll have a number. If it's no, the number is 0. So if you use open yes, that'll tell you, I want to see all the machines where it says open yes. I don't care how many memory sockets there are, as long as there's at least one. 20DE plus open yes. Click on find. There we go. There's a whole list of them. Again, you can copy to clipboard and say to the customer, if you have any one of these, second last line, RAM sockets, total 2, open, yes, 1. So we've gone all the way from identifying the marketing option to finding candidate machines right in the palm of your hands that you can show to the customer. Here, if you've got any of these machines, if they haven't been upgraded since they left the factory, they've got an open memory socket. Now, there's something else in the FRU to marketing cross-reference. Plan for future growth. We have the ability to track the assembly numbers as well. So if you're in the manufacturing side, the assembly number can be the same for two different parts. One has the marketing option box and the other one has the FRU box, but it's the same part inside, just a different part number, depending on whether it's sold as a service part or as a marketing part. So we've got some assembly numbers plugged in, not many yet, and if anybody can supply assembly numbers, I'd be happy to plug them into this database. Just another plan for future growth, future function that we can add with a little help. Anyway, that's a quick tour of Lenovo Look Pro and the FRU to marketing cross-reference. If you are a business partner and you say, that's nice, but how would I get my prices to show in my supply? There's a Contact Us link on the Google Play Store site. You can email me and I'll either tell you how to do it, I'll show you how to do it, or I'll do it for you. And if you have any comments or suggestions or bug reports or anything at all, I'm always open to suggestions from users or Lenovo people. If you like it, tell 2 people. Thank you very much for your interest. Hope this works for you.